Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So by the title you would already know that I'm doing my year 12 VCE like summary kind of advice. So if you're going into year 12 VCE, whether it's in 2020 or a few years on from 2020, that's okay, keep on watching. You'll hear about the organisation skills, the difficulty of the year, the stress that is brought on by the year, about studying, and finally about ATARs. ATARs will be right down the end because that's the last thing that comes in the year, as well as, you know, it's just in studying. I'm also going to be putting a little bit of an exam what to expect kind of thing. So yeah, just keep on watching. Okay, so first, organisation. Organisation is one of those things that at the start of the year I was like, yes, if everything goes wrong in the year, my organisation can save it, blah 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 blah. Well, by the end of the year, the organisation ceased to exist. It didn't exist anymore just because of the fact that my mind was everywhere. Around exam study break and around exam time, everything was everywhere, and I wasn't stressed. I was just like, I don't know how to get everything back together in time, and it actually helped me. So it did fall apart a bit. So my one tip for organisation is just to say, if you're going to do organisation and like very fancy, neat organisation, or just organisation in general, just keep on it. Because the thing is, you'll get to the end of the year and you'll be like, oh my god, like I had all this organisation, and yes, some stuff is in the organisation way that I had decided, but a lot of it I'm missing, like, you know. So just keep on top of all the paperwork you get given, because you will need it at the end of the year, despite, like, even if you think you won't, just keep it, because you probably will need it, and it'll probably all help. And if you go to your teacher just before the study break and say, oh yeah, by the way, can I have like all the sheets from argument analysis or something like that that you gave out, they won't be happy at all. So just keep on top of it, keep all your paperwork on it. If you're dedicated to staying organised, remain dedicated throughout the whole year, because if it falls apart halfway through the year, you're done. So, well, you're not done, but it's bad, okay? And you'll just force more stress on yourself. So just keep on top of it. That's my main thing. Just, if you're going to be organised, keep on top of everything. Don't think, oh, I'll just fix that up in the next few days. Oh, I'll fix it up next time I go to my locker, blah, 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 blah. Keep on top of it at the time. Okay, so next I'm going to be talking about the difficulty of the year. So, Year 12 VCE, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to remain on top of all subjects at the one time. I suggest, if you're doing folio subjects, just do one, because if you do two, you just get overwhelmed because they're all due at different times and different parts are due at different times. And I made the mistake of doing 3 folio subjects. The third one wasn't too bad because my teacher had like changed the subject into a folio subject, so it wasn't actually meant to be a folio subject, if that makes sense, but still was treated like a folio subject. So it had different due dates. So I had the 2 that were actually folio subjects, which was art and media, and oh my god, there were multiple parts throughout the year that I was like, how the frig am I going to do this? And then I had teachers coming up to me and being like, you haven't done this. And I'm like, yes, I have. I handed that in like last week on the day that it was due. And they were like, oh, well, this teacher's saying not. So just keep on top of folio subjects. That's like the main thing, because if you fall behind, you're going to fall behind really fast and very hard. So there's the folio bit. So the difficulty of the year as a whole, it's not that hard. It's just hard at times because you have, like, English will be due at the same time as media and business or something like that. Like, all your subjects will somehow clash in where things are due. So you just need to keep on top of everything that you can possibly ever be in control of. So just keep on top of everything, and it's actually not that hard. It just gets hard when everything's due at the one time. So the stress of the year, the stress isn't that bad. Well, not for me personally. I was one of those people that was very like, go with the flow, whatever ATAR I get, you know, kind of thing. I wasn't a big one. They say you should study 3 hours a night, or like more if you can. I would study maybe like 3 hours a week. Not a night, 3 hours a week, but I was very much a person who was like, well, whatever I come out with, I'll deal with, you know. So, you know, it's not that stressful. Plus, year 12, you have so many exciting things happen, so it's really hard to, like, enjoy the days where you're actually allowed to have fun, like athletics day and swimming sports and camp and all that kind of stuff. It's really hard to have a good time without thinking about going back to school and doing everything that you have to do, and there's so much there and blah 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 blah. Like, you just need to enjoy the good times, okay? And because they're moments that you actually remember, and if you have a terrible time throughout all the good times that you could have possibly had, you'll look back and think, shit, like, I should have just enjoyed it while it lasted, because it would have been a great opportunity, and I wanted to have friends, I wanted to have fun with my friends, and I didn't do that because I was so focused on school and work and blah 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 blah. So just chill out. Like, that's my main thing, just chill out, because you can stress as much as you want to, but it's not going to change the outcome. Yes, study. Do more studying than I did, okay? That's my one recommendation. Do more study than I did, because if I had done more, I think I would have been happier with how last year ended up. But I'm pretty happy with how my year 12 VCE happened. I just think it could have been better if I had have given more of a care. So yeah, definitely don't stress too bad, because you're gonna wear yourself out. You're gonna burn out and you're gonna, like, be stuffed for the rest of the year. Just chill out, breathe, have fun with your friends, have fun on school days where you should have fun, and just enjoy it. Like, that's my one thing. Just enjoy the good times, and worry about the work when you have to worry about the work. Like, don't worry about it when you're at swimming sports or athletics day or at camp, because you can't do anything in that moment and you're just going to ruin your whole experience. So have fun where fun is due, and stress out where stress is due, but don't stress too hard, because you will burn out. So next, I'm doing studying. So with studying, I was never really good with studying. I think it was meant to be 3 hours every single night that you studied, and I did maybe 3 hours a week. I do not suggest doing 3 hours a week, because you will pay for it in the end. And like, when you're studying, when you're in classes, concentrate on that class. Like, if you're in English, concentrate on English. Don't worry about something that's due next period. Like, sometimes you will have that times, like, where something's due in the next period that's really important, and if you don't hand it in on time, then you're not going to get marked, or you're going to get an NA. Then, yes, I see your point. I did do that. Do it. But just make sure that you're catching up at home on the stuff that you did miss in that period, because you will really pay for it if you fall behind on the coursework and on the theory work, because every single SAC contributes to your ATAR. So you need to make sure that throughout the year you are concentrating on that subject, on every single subject, and keeping up with every single subject. Keep all the paper that is handed out, because the worst thing that you could do is lose all your paper and then ask the teacher right before study break or exams to print off this heap of paper. Even if it's just one, just keep on top of your paper, which kind of links in with the organisation kind of thing. Just keep on top of every single subject at the one time, because if you flunk one SAC, that will affect your ATAR. Now, I don't want to stress you out. I don't want any of that. It's pretty easy to stay on top of all subjects, theory-wise. You just need to make sure that you are spending time at home, catching up on work that you might not understand to the fullest extent, or doing practice exams. That one is really, really important. If I had done practice exams earlier in the year, I think I would have been far better off than starting near the end of the year, in the exam revision time. Like, start doing practice exams early, bring them into your teacher, get them to mark it and do all that kind of stuff, because they're not going to tell you no, because you're trying to, get ready for the exam, and there's a lot of things you need to know, and you will learn over the course of the year, but it's better off to learn them earlier than learn them at the last second. So definitely start on practice SACs and exams way earlier in the year than you think you will need them, because you will improve so much by final exam time. Okay, so finally, the moment that probably most of you watching this will have been waiting for, is ATARs. So, ATARs. Whew. ATAR exam calculators, the ATAR calculators, don't go off them with what ATAR you're getting, because I did, and I got far below what the calculator said. So, you know, I'm also the person, as I've said previous in this video, that I was the person that was like, ATAR, meh, I don't care what I get, you know, I'm just doing it for, you know, fun, you know, kind of thing. And I did still get a score. I didn't do no score because I still wanted a score, because it's better than having no score whatsoever. So, because I was one of those people that, like, didn't really care about my ATARs, I went to everyone and they're like, oh, how are you feeling about how you went? I'm like, oh, I don't care, kind of thing. And then I received my ATAR on the 12th of December, I think it was. I had an alarm set for 7 a.m. and I was going to go to bed after I checked it anyways. But I set my alarm for 7 a.m. and I opened it and I was like, it can't be, because I had this idea in my head of what it should have been. And it was nowhere near that. It was like literally half of that. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, what am I gonna do? So I had a bit of a cry, I'm not gonna lie to you. But realistically, there's so many ways to get into the course you want, so don't stress out. Like, you're gonna be fine. There's universities that don't need ATARs, where you use your study scores, and even if your study scores are bad, don't stress, okay? Because it's okay, there's ways to get into everything. Like, anything that you want to do, you can do it. You just have to find an alternative route to doing what you want to do. And that's okay. It might take longer, but you'll still get there in the end. Alright? So I want to clear that up for you. Don't stress too much about ATARs. Yeah, try your absolute hardest, but if you come out with something that you're not happy with, that holds you back from doing what you want to do, don't get too upset about it, because it's okay. It will be okay. I promise you. Okay, there's ways into every course. If you're willing to do the work, you can get to where you want to go. ATARs, you can never predict them. Never predict them 100%, because so many factors go to play in that, and no one really understands ATARs, except for maybe VCAR. But, you know, it's so hard to predict what your ATAR is going to be, because there's so much that goes into it, as well as you have your scores, and that goes into what it's going to be, and you have how your exams went, and that goes into what it could be, and that on its own you could probably predict. However, you can't predict where everyone else is going to place in Australia, because that's what really matters. If people are sitting really high, then you might have a really high scores on everything that you've done, but you'll sit really low because everyone else has done like not even so much better than you, just a little bit better than you, so they're way up, you know. So it really does depend on so many different factors that you can't predict it. And I just hope that no matter what happens, do not blame yourself. Do not think that it's a representation of you, because it's not. It's literally just a piece of paper, a few numbers, and they don't mean anything. They don't define who you are. They don't, you know, it doesn't matter, okay? But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say in regards to how my Year 12 VCE went. In summary, I'm really glad I did it. I'm not so glad that I got the ATAR that I got, but it's okay. It was alright. You know, I could have done much worse, and I'm really glad that I did. I'm really glad that I did spend my year with so many great people, and Year 12 was a bit of a mess in regards to friends and work and all that kind of stuff, but it's okay. I'm really glad that I finished the year how I finished it, and I'm really happy with the results. So if you're doing Year 12 VCE, then good luck. But also, just don't stress out too much, because if you end the year on a bad note, that's all you'll remember of Year 12 VCE, and you will forever be against it and be like have negative emotions towards it. So just end the year on a good note. Just remember that you've done the best that you possibly can, and I hope you all do so well. You know, just they're my tips. Of course, there's going to be so many other tips from other people on different videos who have done better than me, who have done worse than me, who have, you know, but ATARs are irrelevant anyways. It doesn't matter. So that's where I'm going to leave this video at. I hope you all do well. I'm hoping that all of you come out with an ATAR that you can be proud of. I hope you all get into your courses. Of course, there's going to be people that don't, so just don't rub it in your friends' faces, because it's not a nice thing to do, especially if they have worked, if in their head they think that they've worked harder than you. Do not rub it in their faces, because it can really make someone feel really bad. Like, as much as I don't want it to make people feel bad, it does. So just don't rub it in people's faces. It's a thing to keep to yourself, you know, and just be humble and be proud of it internally. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.